Howdy mates. Good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, January 19th, 2021. And I'm actually visiting a preserve that I haven't been to in a while, but I have done a couple of videos here in the past. I'm out visiting the Mad River Gorge Nature Preserve. And of course, some of you may have heard me mention the term gorge. But some of you may have thought, well, what exactly does that refer to? What does that mean? Well, a gorge is basically an area of a river that has done down cutting in a particular region. And this is something that happens over time. So a good way to illustrate, to know if you're is you'll see these rock walls to my left. And then there's also rock walls on the other side too, as you can see. There is potential planning for the future that accessible trails will be on the other side of the floodplain. But that is essentially what a gorge is. It's just a downcut region of a river that you can see surrounding bedrock. So, to mention a little bit of some characteristics of the Mad River and the history, in case for those of you who may be interested in how this came to be. Well, the Clark County in the past has experienced a couple of different episodes of glaciation. Some of them include the Illinoisan, which was, I want to say, between 20 to 17,000 years ago. And then you also got your Wisconsin age, which was more like 15,000 years ago. So, what's fascinating is when you go a bit further up north to the city of Bellefontaine, which is actually, that town is the highest point in Ohio. So that region is very hilly. However, there is something known as the Bellefontaine Outlier. And this was a region of land that was never covered by the glacier. So basically, it's kind of like one big hill at Bellefontaine. And the Bellefontaine Outlier had two different lobes. The Scioto lobe was to the east, and then the Miami lobe was facing towards the west. And as a result, once the glaciers receded, like since the past glaciation, the Miami lobe eventually developed the Mad River. And the Mad River, it's the main drainage basin, which essentially means, in other words, according to hydrologists, it's the main river that runs through this region of Ohio. And what's fascinating, for those of you who may be wondering, usually areas that have associated rivers and tributaries, there's bound to be a watershed. And that refers to, it's like a biophysical feature where you'll have, the best way to describe it is something like an underground lake. More or less. That's like the best way I can explain it. So that then ties into the, I'm sure you guys have heard of it, it's the water table. So that's typically where there's the boundary between the surface and where the saturated watershed begins. And due to watersheds, that's how many countries or I shouldn't say countries, but towns or houses in the country are able to have wells. But yeah, I might actually share a like a survey of the Mad River watershed. It's quite fascinating, as a matter of fact. And it was a report that was done by the EPA about, I want to say, 20 or so years ago. But yeah, not only that, but the Mad River also has tributaries that feed into this river. They include the Buck Creek and the Beaver Creek. But yeah, watersheds can be quite large, and then some of them can be really small. So, I may share a couple of articles just to help you guys learn more about them in case if you guys are interested. But yeah, I mean, that's usually how rivers form, is due to past glaciers that were in this area. But yeah. And yeah, actually right now, due to there really hasn't been much precipitation, what you would call the stage, or it's also known as the height of a river, it's a bit lower right now than it normally would be. And that's just because there hasn't really been much precipitation. But yeah, I just want to show you guys real quick, hopefully. But yeah, actually, one of the classes that I'm in this semester is it's called Watershed Hydrology, and I am really looking forward to this class that I'm in, because streams are technically one of my favorite topics to learn about when it comes to Mother Nature. Yeah, this place is also very popular for rock wall climbing too. Yeah, especially if you go down a bit further in that direction. Yeah, I'll just provide you guys a decent little view. Yeah, alright. Thought I would share that with you guys. Hope you learned something out of the video. I know it's a little longer, but I had quite a bit of information to share. So, hope you guys enjoy your Tuesday. And once again, Journey on a Journey is out. Take care, folks.